Hey guys, Stephanie here. So in this video, I'm just going to be making some Painty inky pages for my journals. Now I have these two journals. These are Dilutions journals, and I got them at Tuesday morning a while ago. And they go inside of this. You know, this they go inside of here. So I'm just making some Painty inky pages to go in here to try to fill this up. And of course it comes with its own backgrounds and everything. So, all right, so that's all I'm going to do today. And I'm going to show you some stuff that I've worked on so far, just to kind of give you some ideas of something you may want to do. Now I'm using watercolors and inks and sprays and a bunch of stuff. So I will go over all of that. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself in case you have not come to my channel before. I am a jewelry artist as well as a mixed media artist and a crafter as well. So I do a bunch of different things on this channel. Sometimes I make jewelry. I have lots of jewelry videos. Sometimes I do paper crafts, and sometimes, a lot of times, I do mixed media. That's sort of my second love next to jewelry. So feel free to give this channel a subscribe and a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, leave below and I'll answer and get back to you, okay? All right. And for those of you who are subscribers of my channel, welcome back. I'm going to switch things up as I like to do on my channel. Sometimes I like to make jewelry. Sometimes I get inspired to work in my journal. Sometimes I want a junk journal. Sometimes I want to do a bunch of stuff. This is a creative channel. I do a lot of different creative, crafty things on this show. Okay. All right. So just wanted to say that. And I thank you guys for watching. Now let's go ahead and get into what we're going to do today. So like I said, I've been working in this journal, and I've had this journal set up for quite a while, and I don't know, I just decided I wanted to work in it. You know, I have different journals for different things. Some journals are like this one, and my Jane Davenports are much more whimsical. The colors are very bright and vivid. I like, you know, characters and animals and stickers and all kinds of stuff. And then I have my more muted tone journals, which are more for deep thought, you know, meaningful things that mean something to me, things like that. So I have probably 12 different journals, and they each have different things in them, and they're each for different things. And I'm creating more as we speak because I have so many ideas, you know. But lately this one has been kind of fun. I've been wanting to work on something very bright and vivid and kind of over the top and whimsical, and this just kind of spoke to me, right? Sometimes we have things speak to us in certain ways, depending on our mood. I hadn't been feeling well for a while. And I've been wanting to just work in something bright and to cheer me up. You know, sometimes we need just a little something to cheer us up, right? So I was working in this, and I got this cover. I got this cover a long time ago. I think I got it at Joann's on clearance, but you can find these at scrapbook.com. Amazon has them, things like that. All these things I think you can find at scrapbook.com. Mostly everything I'm going to show you today. So, or your favorite crafty store. Okay. All right. So let me show you what I've been working on. I really wanted to finish this journal, both of these, and so I can put them in my little my journal and just kind of start working on them. So let me show you what I got so far. So I got these really cute little monsters from Little Raven Ink. Courtney Diaz, she has a Patreon channel, and I joined her Patreon, and I got so much inspiration from watching her. And I just really thought her monsters and stuff, because she has printables. So when you join the Patreon, you get printables, right? And I thought that they were just so cute. Look at that little monster. Isn't he adorable? Like this one, I got that one from there. These are Dollar Tree stickers, guys. And these are like the little dots here of the Jane Davenport Ladybug Daughters. These are inks. This is watercolor. This is sprays. This is some acrylic white pen. I use a crayon pencil on this. I'm still working on it. You know, what I like to do is I kind of lay stuff out when I have ideas, and I like to go back through and add more ideas, you know. Yeah, like this, I have sort of something I want to put here in this little space. So yeah, I'm working on this one as we speak, and I've kind of started on this one, right? Look at how pretty and whimsical that is. That is just so beautiful. That's one of those Dollar Tree stickers. And that's one of Courtney's printables. And you only can get her printables, I believe, on her Patreon. And she might have a website. Let me double check that. And if she has a website, I will put the link down in the description so you guys can check it out. Maybe purchase some of her printables if you like the whimsical creatures and stuff. And then I just kind of recently, just today, I went over it with a little bit of metallic, kind of very sheer metallic, and it's really, really cute. So I'm not finished with that one. And look at this. I love this. I love it. It's so whimsical and fun. This is just like a, not a sticker, but like a die cut kind of from the Paper Source. And this is one of my gel prints that I did for my own backgrounds. This is just some inks and watercolors, and I put some washi tape down the center just because I didn't want the spine to get all warped, you know, because when you start using watercolors, especially in sprays and stuff like that, you know, it can really jack your spine up. So I didn't want the journal to be all messed up and kind of start warping and falling apart and stuff. So I just kind of went through and added washi tape down the center of it. You can do it on every page if you want to. I haven't done it yet. I just kind of did every 4 or 5 pages or something like that. I'm still working in it as well. I'm gonna get ready to do something here in the back of it too. But so yeah, this is so cute. I'm still working on this page too, because it's like I sort of went with the color theme. Okay, because I saw the monsters and I thought the monsters were really, really cute. And I said, oh, how about a unicorn? So I already have something in mind, something else in mind I'm going to put on this. Very cute. That's one of her printables as well. It's one of my gel prints. And then I just put these here just because I wanted to lay them there and see how they looked. So yeah, and I literally just put some more watercolors on this. So beautiful, right? Look at how vivid and bright and beautiful. Now, if you're not accustomed to working with very bright, vivid colors, I suggest giving it a shot. And you don't have to be perfect. Clearly, this is not perfect, but it's beautiful. And that's the thing. You don't have to be perfect. Just make it beautiful, you know? So I am just loving how this is coming out. Now, I did this as well, but I just put some of this gold in this, from this palette, little light, very light wash metallic on there. Okay, just so pretty. And I'm going to probably spray it with some stuff and ink it up and everything. And I just did this too, you know. So I'm just doing that in these journals with my various watercolors. And I'm also doing this. What I'm doing is I'm kind of painting in this first. I let it dry. I always let things dry because it can get real muddy if you don't. Just my take on it. I'm no expert, but that's just from my own personal what do you call it? My own personal mistakes that I've learned that turn a big pile of mud. So I tend to let things dry, or like mostly dry, you know, before I start layering something else on top of it. You right? Because that way the colors kind of can pop on their own. So like that, I'm not real happy with that, but I'm gonna add something else to that. Like, it's kind of boring actually. I was just playing around. And this is the journal with the lines in it. So you can paint on this, right? You can write on it or paint on it. Okay. So these are just some of the pages I did in this. I'm going to do the whole thing in this. Look how bright that is. That's like screams. But I'm going to tone it down just a little bit with some other stuff. So I'm going to do this one as well. Not on this video, but you know what I mean. So these are the two I'm currently working in right now because that's sort of my mood. Right. I'm going to share with you my paints and stuff that I'm using. Today I pulled out my Art Philosophy by Prima, my metallic pastels. I have not used these yet. I've had these for the longest time and have not used them. And that was another thing I said, you know, I have all this paint and all these great colors. I'm going to start just loading these journals up. And that could be something you may want to do. You say, gosh, I got a lot of paint and I got a lot of journals. What do I do with all this stuff? Well, here's something you could try. Pull out all your stuff, whatever you have, you know, and just start layering your stuff. Let it dry. And then put your inks on there, let that dry, put your sprays on there and let that dry. At least that's how I like to work, but everybody has something different that they want to do. So I'm using one of these, and this is really beautiful. I believe I got this at Hobby Lobby, I think, but you can find this online anywhere. Okay, look at how pretty those colors are. You see how they're kind of drying up, but once I spray them, they'll come back to life. So I said, well, let me use my stuff because it's kind of, you know, I hadn't used any like watercolors in a long time. I use acrylics all the time. I love acrylic paint. I use it all the time. Let me show you here. Messing up my light. Just a second. Here are these are the other metallics that I have by Prima. And it's a 12 count watercolor, and they're the brighter colors, and they're absolutely stunning. Just so beautiful, right? Beautiful. Love, love, love. So I'm using those for the moment, but I have so many packs of watercolors that I can just go for days. This is my other favorite one I just bought in recent times, my Currants. I love these by Prima. I got these at Hobby Lobby. I used a coupon. And I absolutely love them. Look at how pretty these colors are. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, they're like the ocean colors. Just so beautiful. So, and I'm just really just mixing and matching the colors. That's all I'm doing, you know. And then this one is Odyssey by Prima. I think Prima has another set, a few more sets. At least 3 more that I want to get. There's one called Vintage. There's one called Terrain, Woodlands, and I think 1 more, maybe 4 more. So I'm going to probably invest in those because I absolutely love the colors. And this one is Odyssey, and these are the colors. Beautiful. And I'm having so much fun working with those. And then I pulled, of course, out my Jane Davenports. My old Jane Davenports. I love these paints. My favorite. This is the Bright palette. Very bright, vivid, beautiful colors. Okay, so we're going to leave that one open. And, of course, I have sprays. So I have all kinds of sprays over here. I have my glue stick too because I was gluing down my washi tape, and I will show you that too if you as well. So I have a few sprays pulled out, but I have my other little sprays over here on the floor. So I got my some tea dye. This is my favorite. I have to order another one of these. My tea dye distress spray stain. I love this stuff. Love, love, love. Oh, and I have this one too. My walnut. This is great because it makes everything look very vintage. Okay, very, very vintage. I love that. And then this is the ink spray. This is a rose quartz. I love this one. And I have I don't know, like 15 different ones. So these are just the ones I can fit on my desk. They're down here in the basket on the floor. So, all right. Okay, guys. So also what I've been working on are some tip-ins, what are called tip-ins, and you can use these for actual tip-ins, or you can use them and make pockets out of them, or ephemera, or whatever you want to do. These are Project Life cards. Okay, I just pulled out a stack of Project Life cards that I had in a random thing, a random pouch, because I have a ton of paper pouches in this room. And I just started painting on them. I put a little washi tape on them and everything, and I've showed these some of these in a previous video. These I just did. So they will get a little wrinkle because of the water and stuff, but you can always, lay them under something heavy and it'll straighten itself out. And of course, I painted on a watercolor and I'm going to ink it and stamp it and do all that stuff. So all I got to do is kind of just slide it into the journal. You know what I mean? And you can just leave the back, put another piece of paper to back it so you can write on it if you want to. Some people like to write in the journal. Sometimes I write them and sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't. I just like them for inspiration. So this is a memory dex card. Not a memory dex card. This is an index card, y'all, from the Dollar Tree. I got a pack of the index cards. Let me show you. These. So I wanted to so I just wanted to paint and ink all some of those up just to see, how they would do with watercolors. I just kind of gave it a light wash. I didn't really go over it real heavy. You know what I mean? So that's something you may want to do, some of your Project Life cards. And, of course, I've showed these in a live stream as well. And I'm still kind of working on these as well. I mean, I've added a few things to them since, but they're not stamped yet. Most of them are not stamped. Some of them are. Like I stamped that one with an eyeball. But I'm going to stamp and ink these up a little bit more as well, because they came out so great. And I can have them, for tip-ins or just ephemera or whatever. Cut them in half, collage with them, whatever I want to do. So I may do a whole separate video just on these because it's going to be a little bit similar, but we'll see. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you to give you some inspiration if you wanted to make yourself some painty, inky tip-ins for collage and pockets and things like that. Okay. And of course, here we go with the bright colors. Most people do sort of muted undertones, which I love those too. Very, I call them very chic colors. I love those colors, but sometimes I like it bright and kind of cheery and a little over the top. Sometimes I like whimsical. I love whimsical. I love and I live for a good whimsical journal, which is why I like the Dilutions And I love the Jane Davenport and things like that. But I like the Tim Holtz stuff as well. You know, kind of the vintagey dark stuff. I love that stuff too. All right. All right. So we are going to just start painting again in this journal. One of these. Which one did I just do? I guess it doesn't matter because I'm kind of working in them intermittently. You know, I work on this one, put the paint down, let it dry, then I'll do this one. So let's do this one. Okay, I have my spray here. I'm just spraying my palettes here just to keep them moist, keep them ready to go. All right, but you know, I kind of wanted to go back to this one. So, and I have my clips, my journal clips. So I'm going to clip them down. And you can just clip them down if you want. Oh, here, I like it clipping on this side. It might get in the way, so I might take it down, take it off. Here, let's close that up for a second. All right. Okay. Now, I definitely wanted to pull these out and spray these. Water. I am not a serious watercolor artist at all. I'm a mixed media artist, so I know how to put the stuff down and layer on top of it. That's my jam. There are other people on here on YouTube who do watercoloring beautifully. So if you want to, you know, get a real technique going, I suggest you watch them. If you just want inspiration of how to be mixed media and do some fun stuff, then I'm your girl. Okay. So I just wanted to put that out there. Now, this is something that I did. I used watercolor. I don't think I put any inks on this other than the Jane Davenport Ladybug Daughters, and those are acrylic. Okay. And then I stamped it, of course. So I just wanted to put some of this paint on here, just kind of a light wash, just to see how it looks. And it looks great over the Ladybug Daughters because those are acrylic, you know. Like, this is so pretty. It's going to add a nice little sheen to it. I'm just kind of doing this. I just want to put some kind of in between here. Oh, look at this bright color. This bright yellow is beautiful. Look at that. I wanted this to pop. I'm going to add it. Just layer it right over that stamp. Layer it right over that stamp. Let me pull you down just a little bit. There we go. And this blue is pretty too. But I really want to do this metallic. Hold on. I really wanted to put some metallic in here. I like a little shimmer and shine. Some people don't like that in their work. I love it. Look at that. That's so pretty. And it dries pretty fast too. Here, I just want a little bit. That's so pretty. Okay, look, let's see. Let's see how it looks. That's pretty. All right. So, that's kind of the first layer, kind of, you know, in addition to the layers that were already on there. So, I'm going to let this dry and I'm going to start working in the other one, okay? Okay, so I'm going to paint the lined one, and I already put a piece of washi tape down the middle. I use my Uhu glue to do that. This is the Dina Wakley. Yes, Dina Wakley washi tape. That's what it's just plain washi tape. So, got that at Tuesday morning. So I'm going to I think I'm going to do some blue. Yeah. Caribbean Sea. I like Turkish Sea. That's so pretty. That's like a Turkish Sea. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I like that. I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just grabbing colors. I'm kind of grabbing colors I think will go together. You know, and just putting them on the page. You know, kind of just making it fun. Just, you don't really have to have a lot of skill to learn how to paint or anything. Like I say, I'm not a watercolor artist, so I like to just put things down and then, you know, layer on top of it. That's where my sort of interest comes in. You know, I love, let me see this one. This was pretty, it's a pretty blue. Let me see. Oh, that's a pretty blue. So yeah, I'm using a bunch of different colors here. Not a bunch, but I like 4 colors. They say 3, but I'm using 4. Not too many because I don't want it to be too muddy. And then I'm painting over the tape too, and I'm going to blot it. Okay. So you can, you know. And then I think what I'm going to do after this dries a little bit, I'm going to layer a little bit of metallic over it. I think that'll be gorgeous. And have kind of a mermaidy theme to it. Okay. You can kind of frame your page if you want. And just fill it in. And then, of course, like I say, you can blot it. I'm going to blot it a little bit. I'm just kind of... And when it dries, it's going to be gorgeous. Okay. I'll put a little mermaid over here. I didn't put a little mermaid over there. Okay. Now I'm taking a paper towel. What I'm going to do is just blot over the center of it. And I'm going to leave it open so it can dry. I'm going to leave it open face like that so it can dry. Look at that. That's so pretty. Again, for somebody that's not a watercolor artist, that's pretty good. I only use 4 colors from 3 different collections. You know, Odyssey. I used Currents, Odyssey, the Jane Davenport, and the Tropicals by Prima. So that's what I used. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love, love, love. I think I'm going to do some of these cards, guys. I want to do some of these Project Life cards as well. I don't know about, well, maybe that one. That may be cool. Like, this is kind of plain. These are plain. And I want to do a index card. So we can have some ephemera to go with our, you know, our journal. So I'm just to do the same thing that I just did with that. I'm going to just do, now these will curl up on you. So just put them under something heavy, a book or something like that. What color did I have? Jellyfish? I don't know. I don't know what color I had, but, you know, because you can put mermaids on here or anything else you want. Oh, that's a pretty color. Isn't that pretty? This color is called Jellyfish. It's in the Currents palette. Jellyfish and mermaid. I think I might just do 2 colors here. Okay. Just 2. And, of course, you know, we're going to add inks and stuff to these. And I don't know if I have time, I will do it in this video. Just do a couple. Otherwise, I might just do a separate video for this. Like, look at that. Beautiful. Just 2 colors. Gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to set this aside and let it dry. And then we'll move on to the other ones. So what I'm going to do with this is just do this. Okay, yeah, that's what we're going to do with that. So if you have excess on your surface, just, you know, smack and drag it. That's going to be cute. I'm going to add some other colors to this. I don't know what colors I want to add to this, though. Let me see. I think I'm going to add some pink to this one. You know, little pink. And a little pink going on. Okay. A little pink, a little green. Because we want these to be whimsical and pretty. See? Basic. Just something very basic. Nothing over the top. Because, again, we're going to add inks to this, sprays, stamps, a bunch of stuff. So it doesn't need to be all perfect or anything like that. Just lay some paint down on it and move on to the next thing, you know? I think I'm going to do a purple. Oh, no, it's like a blue. That's a blue. Sorry. A blue. Okay. I want to do orange. Let's do orange. We want it to be kind of festive. And then I'm going to do this other color called Dubai. This is an Odyssey. Look at that. Gorgeous. Isn't it gorgeous? So, if you want to add a little bit of blue at the edge here. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. And we're going to take this and smack and drag it and just kind of, you know, get all that other paint up. And then we're going to paint on top of that. Okay. So just keep this train moving. That's all. I'm not going to do too many. I just want to show you, give you an idea of what to do. Once they dry, we're going to add some of the light wash and metallics over it. Let that dry and then add the other things on top of it. Okay. Oh, very cool. Look at that. So that's an index card. Okay. So we're going to add that to the collection as well. You can keep adding as many as you want. You can have a whole stack of them. That way you'll have them at the ready. You know what I mean? Just paint a bunch of them at one time. And that way you can pull them out and stamp on them, ink on them as you go along in your journal making. Okay? So the people who watch my channel remember these paints. These are the Jane Davenport layer cake paints. A little backstory on these. When I first bought these, I showed them in the haul. Some people got upset with me because they were like, oh, that's a ridiculous amount to pay for paint, and yada, 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 and a lot of rude comments, right? So then I made a rant video stating, hey, you know, look, this is what I want to do, and if you don't like it, too bad, because it is what it is, right? That video's still up, by the way. I haven't taken it down. Not yet. But anyway, people had an issue with me buying these paints because I had to order them all the way from Australia. Go figure, you know. I guess somebody had a problem with it. So, but I don't care because I love them. So I'm going to check them out. This is my first time trying them. Okay, and I'm going to try them on some of my little cards that I made for my tip-ins, for my journal, or for my ephemera, or whatever I want to do. Okay. Now, of course, you can paint on this and you can tear it up and do whatever you want to do with it. I'm just going to give it a shot here. Oh, you know what? It comes with 2 brushes. I don't really like these. They're kind of small. I want to do some bigger strokes here. So, I'm just going to... This is gouache paint, by the way. So, it's gouache. And that's what it looks like. Okay. And I'm just going to, here, first of all... Move those out of the way. We're just gonna try. It's very opaque, so you know, if you wanted to, you can do a light wash over it, but if you wanted to write over this with a paint pen, you could, right? So yeah, it is very opaque, so I'm just gonna do it like that. I love it. It's beautiful. It mixes beautifully with the metallic shimmers. Very, very pretty. Very pretty. Wow. Very vibrant, too. It goes perfect with what I'm doing. So I'm going to probably use this in a journal, on a journal page, because it is so opaque. So, yeah. That's what we're going to do. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just going to do it like that. I mean, you know, you can mix your paints, right? I'm just going to do it like that, y'all. There you go. Okay. Very pretty. Look at that. Cute. Love. And of course, I'm going to layer this over with some more stuff too. It's not going to stay like that. So I just really wanted to try that color. Here, let's try to do some more colors here. So this, you know, since we are just here, you know, having fun. So we can just paint over this like this. Let it dry and then paint over some, you know, paint another layer if we wanted to. I love that. I love. Let me see. How about this yellow? This yellow is pretty. It's very pretty. This yellow is called. These paints you can get exclusively on Jane's website at janedavenport.com. They come all the way from Australia. I had the money at the time, so I bought them, and I have no regrets. Hey. It is what it is. Oh, look at that. Pretty. So pretty. Very pretty. Wow, look at that. Oh, and you know what? After this dries, you can write over it, you can stamp on it, ink on it, whatever you want to do. You can still spray it. Love. Ooh, I'm definitely going to do a journal page on that. I will show you that when I do that, okay? Oh, I love that. Pretty. So pretty. I'm just going to do a few colors here. They come in these little cases, too. So I'm going to let that stay out like that. You get a few flesh tones in here. But I don't really paint people, so, you know. Yeah. Pretty. Oh, look at this. This pink is everything. This pink is everything. And they come with these little lids. Here, I'm not in the camera, y'all. Sorry. They come with these little lids. Oh, wait. Here's a bigger brush. That's nice. Okay. Here. I'm going to just do that. So I'm just going to check this vibrant pink out. Because it goes with our little motif, what we're doing. Here, I'm going to use one of these. Here. Let's just... Oh, look at that. This is beautiful paint. Y'all can say what you want, but this is gorgeous. It really is. It's beautiful. I swear. It's so pretty. So beautiful. Oh, let's look at that. That's gorgeous. Oh, and it fits right into what I'm doing. The brightness of it and everything. Wow. Very nice. Well, y'all, I mess it up mixing the paint, but because I'm trying to demonstrate here. Oh, I love that. I love that. And when I ink over this, it's going to be gorgeous. I love that. Love, love, love. Okay. I'm going to leave it just like that. I love painting inky papers, don't you? Now, this is gouache. So I used watercolors before, and now I'm using this is gouache, okay? Ooh, I'm so excited. I think I'm going to do one of these. I think I'm going to do a big one. Let's do a big one, because we can write on this. You know what? I think I want to do this color. I really like this color. I'm sure they have names on them, but... Oh, yeah, they do. On the back. Do they? No, they don't have names. I'm going to check this color out. And kind of want to do like a vintagey theme here. Like a vintage card, kind of. So if I decide to... Because I do put any inky painting papers in my vintage journals sometimes. So... And it dries beautifully. Wow. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to just do it like this. So I'm going to try this one. It has 3 colors in it. So let's give it a shot. Oh, look at that. So cool. This would be good for skin tones. If you work with colors with skin tones, this will be perfect for that. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. What other color would go good with this? Let me see. Probably this one, huh? Let's see. Let's pull them out and work with them. We have some gouache cards, and then we'll have some with watercolors. Okay. Oh yeah, very cool. Very opaque, but that's cool because it'll go great with the inks and stuff. Oh, that's pretty. That's a pretty color. Wow, I love that. Okay, very pretty. Love. Look at that. That's going to be pretty with some vintage stamping on it and some of that walnut stain spray and everything else, right? Cute. All right. Love that. Okay, guys. So this page was dry. This is the 4 color blues that I used. Blue-green colors that I used. And I just put a light coating of the gold metallic out of this one. Metallic accents. So I didn't really wet it because, you know, this is still watercolor, so it will move if your brush is too wet. So I just kind of did just a light wash over it. And look at how pretty this is. So this is just kind of a base to start with, to start layering your other things that you want to put on here. So I'm going to let this dry. But in the meantime, I use some of the Jane Davenport gouache colors. And I just literally threw this on the page. I wasn't trying to be strategic about it or perfect or anything. I just threw 3 colors on there and it's gorgeous. Okay, it's gorgeous. It's very opaque. But look at how vibrant and pretty that is. And it goes perfect in my journals. Goes perfect with the whole theme of this journal. So I'm definitely going to be using more of these. Okay, so I use watercolor and gouache. And then once this is pretty much dry, I'm going to probably just do some, just a light gold. I like gold because that's, you know, metallic. Maybe, I don't know. Well, I have pink and I have these two colors. I'll see. On top of this to kind of give it maybe an iridescent look as well. Or even the white will be pretty. I think I might try some of the white. I might try it on a separate piece just in case. But yeah, so I'm going to just do a light wash of that on top of here. And then it'll be ready for my other things that I want to put on here. Okay. So this is sort of the next step in your Painty background papers that we are going to be working on. I'm working in the striped one here. And I'm just kind of working throughout the journal because I don't want the spine to get warped like I mentioned before. So I like this page. It's beautiful. I put just a light wash on it with some metallics. And look at the shine on it. It's really, really pretty, like a light gold wash. Because that's kind of the background that I wanted. So it's ready to go for whatever I want to lay on top of it, pretty much. I can just leave it like this. But we're not going to do that. So for this, I'm going to take my Distress Oxide in Rusty Hinge. Okay, and I'm going to just put it down like that. This is how I do mine. Everybody does something different, guys. To each his own, you know. So I pulled out some of my inks here, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to spray it, and I'm going to take my book, and I'm just going to smack and drag it. Look at that. Gorgeous. Just smack and drag it. Okay. Just smack and drag it. Look at that. Gorgeous, right? Oh, this is the front of the book. Here, isn't that gorgeous? So you can just kind of keep going through it. And as much as this you want on here, or as little as you want. And of course, I'm going to let this dry in between. So, you know, it'll have a chance to settle. And then I'm going to add the next layer. Some people just kind of keep working as it's wet. But, you know, for me, I don't want a muddy situation. So I'm going to let this dry just a little bit. And then I'm going to use some of this up. And maybe put a little bit more down and put, you know, make some cards out of it. So that's what you can also do. So you say, I don't want to waste this ink, right? Well, you let that dry. Okay. Put that aside. And then you can also put a little bit more down if you want it to. Just a little bit. With another color. So I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to use Salty Ocean. Now this is for your ephemera or your tip ends for your journal. Just do it like that, right? And then spray it with your water. And then you take your tip ends or your cards or whatever, you know, piece of paper you want that you're going to add. Look at that. Cool, right? And you can use all of this. Just soak it up just like that. Lots of people have done this on their channels. This is not a new thing. I'm not reinventing the wheel. You know, it's just something that I wanted to do. Something I thought was fun and cool to try because I love making backgrounds. That's like one of my favorite things to do in mixed media. So look at that. That's cool. It's ready to go. I can leave it just like that and stamp on it and ink it and whatever, you know. So we have that. Now, I have this page. Okay, this beautiful page that I kind of did watercolor on with also a little bit of metallic paint on top of that. Just like a light metallic watercolor wash on top of it, right? So I'm trying to figure out what colors would probably look good with this. And I don't know. Let me see. I think pretty much because the colors are, you know, a little bit dark. So I don't know what colors I would want. Oh, maybe let's try some black. Well, you know what? I have like a vintage photo and a walnut stain I think will look great. See, I have vintage photo. I think that would look good with it. Some crackling campfire might look pretty good. A little red. I don't know. Fossilized amber. That's going to be a little on the yellow side. Let's see. Yeah, so that's kind of yellow, which might not be so bad. You know. And then, of course, walnut stain I think will look great. I haven't even opened this one. I have a black spray that I always use. I have not used this one yet. So I opened the black soot just in case I want to use it. And let me look at the wild honey. Let me see. Well, see, that's that color. It might work. Let me see. Which one is brighter? This is more yellow. One's more orange. Well, I think I might try the fossilized amber. Let's try that one. With a little bit of vintage photo. Okay. So we're going to do that. Vintage photo. And I said, what else did I say? Crackling campfire. Let's try that one too. All right. We will see. I like the black soot and the walnut stain. Those are great. All right. Let's put a little bit of vintage photo down, because we're going to be using these for our cards and everything else, right? You can go through and put blank pages on to soak up all the extra ink and everything else, okay? So let's go ahead and use that. We'll put down a little bit of, this is vintage photo. Looks like it might be a little dry. All right, vintage photo. And I'm gonna do a little walnut stain, just a teeny bit on like the sides here. Here, there you go. All right, so we did those two. And oh, here, let's put them out of the way. Wait, there you go. All right, so we're gonna take our, turn it, upside down like that, and then just drag it through. Look at that. So cool. So cool, guys. Look at that. Oh, gives it that vintage. It gives it that vintage aged feel to it. Just smack and drag it. Uh-oh, my little clip came off, but that's okay. Look at that. How cool is that? And then, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to add a little bit of this, the walnut stain. I'm going to add a little bit of my tea dye. I have to order some more of this. And a couple other colors. And then I'm going to let this dry. So we're going to let this dry first. All right. So let's let it dry. Give it a few minutes. Let it dry. I'm going to put a little rusty hinge on here. Put a little walnut stain. And then, I don't know. I don't want to add any blue to this page. Salty ocean, wild honey, maybe. I don't know, wild honey. I don't know. I'll see. Because sometimes some colors don't look good together, So, yeah. So its ink is really cool. It looks really cool. Oh, wow. That looks cool. So, and I just like to dip it in there. See? Very cool. Yeah. Oh. Because it's so dark, you can't see it that much, but it's there. Like, look at that. That's still very cool. Right? Very, very cool. Still got a little pop of shimmer in there and some inks. I think what I'm going to do is add a little bit of this, because that's kind of dark. I might spray it just a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't really need to spray it with water. But, yeah. Oh. Oh, look at that. It almost looks like coffee dyed. Oh, so cool, guys. Oh, my goodness. I love that. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to go get at least 2 more of these. And they're like $7 a piece, y'all. So make sure you get a coupon when you try to find that. I love that. Very good. It's very, very cool. Oh, I love that. I love that. Hold on. Uh-oh. I'm moving my thing, y'all. Look at that. Very cool. And then if just, like too much, you can just take your paper towel and go through and kind of dab it and make it dry. Oh, look at that. Everything. That is everything. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just like the rest of these background. I did the same thing to these, although this one I didn't do that too. I probably will though. With one of the oxides. I did a little bit of that too. Just a tiny bit. Like right up in here. Or did I? No, I didn't. I didn't do that to these. But I decided to do, I did some other inks though. Like the peacock feathers and stuff like that. I did do that. So yeah, that's what that is. Inks and the watercolors. All right. I love that. That is beautiful. Love. Love. Okay, guys. So, this dried. And look at how gorgeous that is. See, I like to let things dry. So I pulled out my sprays. Now I have a lot of the sprays. I have a lot of them. I have a lot of dilutions. You can use dilutions. You can make your own sprays, your own micro sprays. I have a lot of those. They're over here though. I got to dig them out. But I already got a little shimmer on here from the metallic. So that's kind of enough for this. But I definitely want to use some of this tea dye. And I might use some antique linen. And then of course a little of this. Now these are pretty much, these are distress spray stains, so it's kind of similar, I guess, you know. These are just distress oxides and these are just a spray stains. So you can either spray it directly onto the page if you want it, you know, kind of lightly spritz over it, or you can do the similar technique like what I just did with the inks, you know, put it on there and smack and drag it and dip it in there and all that kind of stuff, which is what I'm going to do. So I love this tea dye. This is my favorite. See, I don't have that much in there, so I gotta be use it sparingly, and so I'm gonna use some of that. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do here. Oh, here, let's move these out of the way, you know. All right, look at that, so cool, right? And you can also mix them. So this is the tea dye with a little bit of this walnut, and I got this at Joann's, by the way. That's the only place I've ever seen it. I'm sure you can order it online somewhere. You can probably get it off of Amazon or something like that. And I used a coupon when I got it, so like that. See how cool is that, right? So you got those two colors going on. Now we're going to take our page and we are just going to dip it, dip it, dip it. You can smack and drag it, but I don't know if I want to just have it all the way just like that. So I'm just going to take it and dip it in here. Oh, this is coming out so pretty. So pretty. And then you can always use the next page for the excess, right? Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. You can just do it like that. Do it like that. Oh, look at that. And then if it gets to be too much, take a paper towel and you can just kind of go over it if you want it, you know, kind of soak up a little bit of that ink. I mean, you don't have to spray that much to begin with, you know. I'm a little heavy-handed, I'm always been, so, but look at how cool that looks. Isn't that cool? Wow, so cool. I'm not even done with this. I gotta add a couple more layers of other stuff to this. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is my ladybug daughters after this dries. And maybe a little bit of this white ink spray on top, you know, and maybe another spray, and that might be it. But I'm gonna use this too, guys. Here, that's what we do. We'll do that because we can use this, use that for the next page. And let that go to waste. See, look at that. Look at that. Cool already. That's so cool, right? So we're gonna use all that. But that's very cool. I love that. So yeah, I'm gonna do some more stuff to this too. I probably could have added some more watercolors to that. That's just what I wanted to do. So I'm gonna go back in, and what I'd like to do is I kind of like to go back in and look at it and see what I need to add. So if I want to add inks, I will. If I want to add, you know, some sprays, I will. If I want to add more watercolors, I'll do that, you know, before I start layering my other things on top of it. Like this is really pretty, so I put a layer of metallic wash on top of that, so it has a little bit of shimmer to it. I love that. Nothing special. It's just very, you know, it's very intermediate. I already know that, but that's what I wanted. I just wanted just throw some paint on there and make it pretty and then layer it. That's where the beauty comes out when you start layering it, you know, like that. So cool. That is beautiful. So yeah. So eventually we will get to where these are, you know, where you start adding your pieces in here, if that's what you wanted to do, you know. So I like having backgrounds at the ready to add. Like this is just, I just kind of lightly glued that in, you know, because I thought, let me see how this looks first before I put it on there. I love it. So I'm probably going to glue that down and start working on that page next in this particular one. See, these are two separate, and they're all going to go in one big journal, you know. Okay guys, so I think I'm going to end this video here, and I'm going to let this stuff dry. So there's going to probably be a separate video for the tip ends and the ephemera stuff, just so people can get an understanding of what, you know, what I was doing and everything. So for anybody who is not familiar, that'll be a great video for you to watch. And then I'm going to do another video where I sort of add my pieces into here. I'm going to add some stuff on these pages as well. So I'm not done with inking them. I'm going to add a few more things, and then, I will, add little things like that to the journals. Okay. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and definitely check out all the links down in the description, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when the video is uploaded. So I'm not sure, this will probably be number 1. I have to figure out what's going to be number 2 and number 3, but so it might just be 1, 2, and then an additional video. You know what I mean? So maybe not like a 3-part thing, just kind of 1 and 2, and then a separate video just for the tip ends and the ephemera and stuff. Okay. All right, guys. I thank you guys for watching, and I really appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next one. Ciao.